Welcome to Ready Set RC, and today we are doing the reveal of the Axial Ryft, the RBX10. Hopefully you guys have seen the unboxing, my first thoughts of this truck. And in that video I had mentioned that it was not going to stay stock for long. And sure enough, here we are, guys. I've done a ton of work on this truck. I'm gonna kind of talk this through. This is a reveal video and not a video of me showing you how I put on the parts. A lot of this is very simple to do, so I'm not gonna show you a how-to, but I will talk about some of the issues that I had in putting this all together, so it makes it a lot more simpler for you. And just so that you're aware, I will be putting the links to all of the parts used on this in the description below. So first off, let's talk about these wheels and tires. These are the stock tires that are on here. I purchased these from Amazon. I like the look of them. This wasn't actually my first set of wheels and tires that I bought for it, but because these are 5.9 the height of the tire, I like that look with this truck. I think the ones that I had previously, they were 5.5s. They just looked a little bit too small. Now for the wheels, you're looking at some Injora wheels, guys, and these are not brass or anything like that. They're just typical beadlock wheels from Injora. Now, the one thing I want you to know about these is that hopefully you guys are seeing that the nut that comes with the truck is actually a flange nut, and it will not work with this wheel. So I went ahead and I ordered some nuts from Amazon. You can put some thread lock on there to lock them in, but they do come with a nylon ring inside to kind of lock them on. You can use some thread lock to really lock them on. And then lastly, for the inserts in these tires, I'm not using the stock foam. Why am I not using the stock foam? The one thing I saw when I had this truck for the first time is that I didn't like how flexible these foams are. I'm gonna be putting speed in it. For me, it's not more about crawling or anything like that, at least not in the onset. I didn't like that sidewall flex. So what I put was some silicone inserts in here. You guys can see there is no sidewall flex on them. So that's what I really wanted. The inserts are a few millimeters shorter than the tire. I don't think I'm gonna lose much in regards to how it performs for me. If it does, then I'll go back and try to find some other dual stage foam. I didn't want to use the Proline ones for this, but I'll go to a dual stage foam. But right now I wanted to really go with the silicone inserts. So that's what's in the truck. I was gonna devise possibly putting foam with the silicone inserts, and there is a way that I could do that. Just cut out a piece of the foam outside, stuff it into the tire. But when I tried that, it's too much. It's just too much to stuff it all in. The silicone inserts doesn't sit flat, so I just did away with it. Next up, these panels that you're seeing on the truck, these are all Vitabond carbon fiber panels. I think the fit and the finish went in pretty well. I didn't have any issues with how they mounted up. As for the lower trail links that are on the truck, I bought the axial supports for them. This typically comes on the kit version. I just went ahead and purchased these up and threw them on here. They went in very easily. They provide the screws for it, so the screws that come on the truck, you're gonna have to take those off. The Treal sway bar I threw on the rear, but it went in extremely easy, guys. Just make sure you lock tight that grub screw, and I went through the screws that are on here and just made sure they were on tight as well. But it's metal, so you want to probably use some Loctite for all of it. But it went in extremely well on this truck. And the last thing I did for you, you're probably noticing the stance of the truck. The stance looks pretty good. It's nice and it's lowered. Now, these are still the stock shocks. I did not change the shocks out on them. I'm not worried, and just so I can preference all of this, I'm not worried about articulation. That's what the articulation is on it. Can easily get my hand underneath there, but that's the articulation on the truck. I'm not really concerned about articulation. So you guys who have been in the hobby, you know the trick. I picked up some fuel tubing, threw that on the truck, and there are no issues in doing it. And what do I mean by that? What I did was I disassembled the shocks. I figured out a height that I like, and I can't show you, what height is going to be good for you, but I cut out longer pieces for the rear and shorter pieces for the front. I did want to keep that uniformity with the shocks, but I would say for the rear, you probably could start around somewhere around 3/4 of an inch for the rear, about 1/2 an inch for the front, and then work from there, whatever works best for you. But that's kind of where I started if you're looking for exact measurements. I think it looks good, guys. I love the stance on it. The shock oil weight, if you're ever looking for the shock oil weight for the standard Ryft, it's about 30. That's what Axial tends to use, is about 30 weight oil on their vehicles. I went in and I put the stock weight in there. The beauty of the hobby is that you could always change the weight at any time. And that also goes for any of the changes that I made on this, meaning the tire inserts and even the power system. Right now, it's still running the stock power system. I do have a censored system in my stockpile of parts that if I want to swap it out, I'm going to swap it out. And then for the servo, I'm going to leave that in. And the servo saver, I'm going to leave that in for now. But those are areas that I plan to address later on in the future after I've had the truck out and I've ran it a couple times. There's only one other part that I'm waiting for on the truck, and it's in the mail and it's on its way here. And that would be the drive shaft tubings that SSD sells. And once those do come in, I'll be putting that on and then putting this truck through its paces. But this build has been pretty straightforward, not hard to do. But if you have any questions, just put them up in the comments below or hit me up on IG. Happy to help out where needed. But we're going to close this video up here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for the latest post to the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.